Welcome to another episode of Elevate Your Life podcast. Today we're going to be talking about indecision and how indecision is a decision for failure. But first, go ahead and give me a like. Please subscribe if you want to be the first to get the content as soon as it drops. Hit the red subscribe button right here below. Hit the thumbs up, the like button, and definitely let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feedback. Comments. I love hearing comments, and I'll get back to all the questions, comments, or concerns. Drop a comment as well. So back to the topic. Indecision is a decision. The power of making a commitment and simply saying yes or no will change your life. 100% it will. Indecision only leads to failure. Indecision is a decision of failure. I've seen so many businesses go bankrupt because they have not been able to make a simple decision. They missed an opportunity because they were not able to make a decision or take advantage of an opportunity because they either overthought it, they thought it was taking too much, it was too much of a risk, it would cost too much money, and they missed the opportunity of a lifetime and they went bankrupt. Don't be that person. It's a simple yes or no, but it's a muscle you have to train in your head. Most people aren't used to making big decisions. We're just not built that way. When we grow up, we're trained to just follow the masses, follow the herd. People say it all the time, there's follow the herd somewhere or create your own path. And you can create your own path by making decisions for yourself. So simple yes or no. You have to train your muscle, your brain muscle, to be able to make those decisions for you. Because if you don't, you're going to be left following the herd and not having any success whatsoever. But if you're in the middle, it's failure. You can't teeter back and forth. You can't be half in and half out. It's not possible because you can't split your energy in two different directions. If you look at a circle and you have 10 arrows pointing from the circle and they all go, 2 inches versus having one arrow that goes 2 feet, how much farther can you go in success by having that much more energy dedicated to one thing? Making a decision to go after that one thing versus indecision of going after 10 different things at the same time. It cannot be done. Where you put your energy, where you put your focus, those things will grow. You can't focus on 100 different things. You need to master something, make a decision on it, and then continue on from there. And the question I get often, well, what if it's the wrong decision? What if I screw up? What if I make the wrong decision? That's part of the process. That's part of life. It's part of business. It's part of everything. You will screw up, you will fail, and you will make the wrong decision. 100% absolutely guaranteed, no questions asked. It's just part of life. For me, a couple examples of that, I've bought houses before where I've lost money on it. It's part of it. I've bought a house, I've renovated it, and I've sold it, and I've lost money. I've hired contractors to do work on houses where I hired them, I paid them, and then they disappeared. Or they did the work and then I paid them and then they left and the work was done improper anyways and I shouldn't have paid them in the first place. Those are all decisions though. I made the decision to purchase the house. I made the decision to hire the contractor. But if I did not make those decisions, I wouldn't make a lot of other decisions. Because it's a muscle that you train in your head. To say yes to something is honestly just saying yes to yourself. That's all you're really doing. You're making a decision for you. Because if you hesitate and you think too much, like for me, we flip houses. If I hesitate on every single house to make a decision, my brain would go to not buying houses versus taking the opportunity and saying yes to houses. I've lost money on deals before, but I've made way more money and I flipped way more profitable houses than I've ever lost on because you do your due diligence. You take the time to do research to make sure it's a good decision, but you don't overanalyze it. It's paralysis by analysis. You paralyze yourself because you have so much information, you think you need to know every single detail along the way, and it doesn't work because you never make a decision because you don't ever feel like you know all the information that you need to know. Most successful people don't know. There's a saying that says it's shoot, ready, aim. Instead of ready, aim, fire, it's fire, ready, aim. Make a decision and then figure out how to get there. Nobody knows the way to do things. I'll commit to something a lot of the times and I have no clue how I'm going to do it. I'll commit to a deal and I don't even have the money raised yet. And all my lenders are tapped out, but I can make the commitment and then you get creative on how to make it a success. So indecision, like let's just use this for example. If you're in a place of indecision going up and down, back and forth, let's just put it on a graph. On a graph, it's like, you're going just straight and you might go up a little bit, but it's up, down, up, down, up, down, and very slight increase. Versus, that's indecision. Versus making a decision, you have a flat line because you have to learn, you have to educate yourself, you have to take in whatever information is clear to you to make an educated decision. So it's a very small flat line, and then let's say you make the wrong decision. Let's say you screw up. Let's say you lose money. Let's say you lose a friend. Let's say the business fails. Let's say any of those things is the wrong decision. You go down for a second, but you learn. You take that as an opportunity to learn, implement what you learned, and then you take off. If I wish we had a good graph. We can put a graph on here when we're done to show the difference of it. But you're so much farther ahead because you've made a decision. You've committed to yourself. You've committed to the process, and it only goes up from there versus going directly to your right. Things in motion stay in motion. Things at rest stay at rest. Like I said, it's a muscle that you need to train. It's a decision-making muscle in your head that you have to train. I've been stuck a lot of times from not making a decision. Like, let's say it's a phone call that I don't want to make. It's a bad phone call. I have to let somebody go. I have to, negotiate a big deal that I know is not going to work out. And I'll hesitate making the phone call because I'm thinking about all the ways that things could go wrong, all the things that I could screw up on versus just making the phone call. I'm wasting so much time. I waste minutes, hours, days, whatever that timeline is where you're in the indecision is a waste, because even if you're doing something else, you're thinking about that decision that you need to make versus just making that decision immediately and learning from it. If you're right, boom, great, you made the decision. If you're wrong, you go down, you learn from it, and then you take off again. Things at rest stay at rest. If you don't make decisions, if you're staying in the middle, that's where you're always going to be. You're never going to be able to make real leaps of success forward. But things in motion stay in motion. Once you train that muscle to continuously make the right decisions and to continuously push yourself into an area that you're uncomfortable with, things in motion will stay in motion. Even if it's a slight negative, even if you lose a little bit, you'll stay in motion and you'll only go up from there if you learn from those things. You don't want to overcomplicate these things. It's a simple yes or no. It's not a multi-layered, question that you got to go ask NASA for. It's a yes or no. Do I go up or down? Do I go right or left? There's two options. There's a 50-50 chance ratio, or 50% success rate. So you want to learn what you need to learn at the beginning to try and make that 60-40 or 70-30. But at the end of the day, it's 50-50. It's two choices. It's yes or no. It's up or down. It's right to left. You got to make the choice, because if you stay in the process of indecision, you'll never have the success that you want to have. Make a choice and commit to yourself. Commitment to you and making the decision will change your life, because it's something that goes to every part of life. It's between you and your girlfriend. It's between you and your family. It's between eating healthy and not eating healthy. It's between waking up in the morning and working out versus sleeping in until 9 a.m. and missing the whole day. It's a decision between drinking alcohol instead of studying or reading a book. It's a decision between watching Netflix or reading a book. It's the decisions throughout your life. All those decisions will make or break who you are at the end of your life. And for me, I don't want to be the guy that nobody remembers. I don't want to be the guy that never made a decision. I don't want to be the guy on my deathbed regretting things that I didn't do because I was scared of either other people's opinions or I was scared to be wrong. I want to be the guy on my deathbed, or, for my kids, that I can look them in the face and say, I did everything in my power. I made the decisions I needed to make. I did the things that I needed to do. And I learned from the failures that I had. And I'm at a point of success. I want my kids to look at me and see somebody that they want to be like. I want to be on my deathbed and be at full peace with my life because I did everything in my power to get to where I was at. For me, that's what it's worth. Indecision won't get you there. It's not possible. You have to make a decision. Commit to yourself, make a decision, and start training that muscle in your brain so you can start being that person that you want to be, and you can get to those places of success that you want to get to. We'll see you on the next episode.